The Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union fought against Germany during the Second World War. Soon after the war, the United States and the Soviet Union became enemies. They began to fight against each other in a new kind of war. This new war was called the Cold War. The two countries did not attack each other. Instead, each country tried to get other nations to join its side. The Cold War began because the United States and the Soviet Union had different kinds of government. The government of the United States is a democracy. In a democracy, people vote for their leaders. The people have a lot of freedom. The Soviet Union had a communist government. In a communist country, the government owns most of the land, stores, and business. People do not have freedom of speech or religion. During the Cold War, dictators ruled the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union wanted to start communist governments in other countries. The United States had two goals after the Second World War. Its first goal was to start an organization that would work for world peace. The United States helped start the United Nations. This organization tries to help countries solve problems without fighting. The United States' second goal was to help stop the spread of communism to other nations. The United States worked in two ways to help stop the spread of communism. First, the United States gave millions of dollars to the nations of Western Europe. The nations used this money to rebuild cities and farms that were destroyed during the war. The United States also helped the Japanese rebuild their nation. Japan and the nations of Western Europe became strong democracies. They did not become communist nations. Second, the United States helped start the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. NATO was formed to prevent the Soviet Union from attacking Western Europe. Today, the United States, Canada, and many nations in Western and Eastern Europe belong to NATO. The armies of NATO nations would join together against an enemy during a war. The Cold War began in Eastern Europe when the Second War ended. The Soviet Army forced Poland and other nations to have communist governments.